So let's give an update on the Marshall Garden Company. Where are we at today?
We're at the Marshall Garden Company.
I think the last time we did this, we were sitting on the courthouse steps.
I think the last time we did this, we were sitting on the courthouse steps because it had rained and there was so much mud out here that it was just a sticky mess. But we are here today. My knees and shoulders hurt a little bit because I got to help make fence here recently. Make fence. Do people make fences?
Build fence.
I got to help build fences. So there's been a whole lot of stuff going. Todd, what's the biggest change that's happened since that video at the courthouse?
Oh, I think there's a lot to change. So we have a whole building completely built with a roof and porches. We're sitting on the porch. This was not here the last time we did a video. We have a fence we're putting up now around our deal to keep the deer out because the deer like to eat our precious plants, and we got to keep them out. We, are finalizing some where we're going to have receiving and where we're going to have our
Parking.
parking and all of that kind of stuff. So it's we got some parking area already. We're going to have more parking area that
Yeah.
we've got coming in. So there's a lot changed.
There's a lot changed. I think the biggest thing happening right now, that kind of you can't see, the guys are working really hard on the electrical work. They are rocking and rolling, making it happen. And I guess sometimes those are those little things that you don't really see, you kind of take for granted, but have to happen. So I'm really thankful for those guys spending the time to get this right so that all the
Interior
things will
finish.
work.
Interior finish of the building. There's walls gone up. We've got to put still insulate the building and then sheetrock. All the walls that are in the building
And that's just the inside. That ain't even
yeah.
where most of the plants live. Now, ain't that
No,
something? What part of the garden center is starting to feel real for you?
I think I'm getting our spaces defined more.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting some fence up and we're getting to define and really see what our space is going to look like, areas and doing some real finalization on that. Um, I think that's a big one for me.
I'd agree with that. I think I call it like the zones of the garden center. I guess they may use that terminology in all sorts of retail spaces, but what zone is going to house perennials? What zone is going to house trees? What zone is going to house bedding flowers? What zone is going to house bulk dirt and bags of mulch and all that great stuff that
Yeah.
you need? What zone is going to be an area where we can show people how to do some stuff and be a little bit more interactive? But then also in the building, what zone is going to work well for house plants? At the start of the year, all the gardeners, we dig deep in our house plants and repot them and give them all this love because we're itching to go outside. Today's so pretty that if I were at home, I would be waist deep in it by now.
Putting a lot of thought into how stuff flows, how people flow and transition through the spaces,
Yeah.
so that it's easy. You can push a cart easy. You can take you're not going to have steps. When you're coming through here, you're going to be able to
Get through here.
transition through here fairly easy with a cart and get the things you need to make your garden beautiful.
Yeah. What's a behind the scenes decision that people might not realize goes into building this out?
There's a million decisions. There's a million of them.
Yes, there are.
So there's so many things. Just I mean, you got, I don't know, just any small business would have some of these same issues. Just how are you going to have money come into your business and go out of your business? Systems and processes for buying product and
Yeah.
selling. How you can actually sell it.
Yeah.
POS. Don't confuse with one POS with the other. This is point of sale.
But you might think it's a POS
But
sometimes.
POS is a POS.
Paying
So,
for it is a POS.
uh,
For me, I think about like one of the things that we're having to do is build out what I call our vendor network. And so I shared in one of the other videos how we've gone to a conference and we got to meet a lot of growers and wholesalers. And so now we're having to dig deep into that and start really building those relationships and figuring out what our contracts are going to look like. One of the things that I think a lot of people don't think about when they think about the garden industry compared or garden centers compared to other retail industries, you know, for a lot of businesses, you see those the boats coming across the ocean full of those trailers full of your stuff that you buy from the store. Well, with a garden center, right? Somebody's doing seeds, and then somebody's doing plant starts, and then another person is doing finishing of these plants. And all through that, that plant has to move from this vendor to that vendor to the other vendor. And so for me, it's given me a whole new thought on like what it takes to get that petunia to my house, what it takes to get that peach tree to my house. And there are a lot of hands that a plant goes through to grow. I think sometimes we take for granted it's just a peach tree.
Yeah.
It just comes out of a seed. No, there's some farmers and some horticulturists. I got that out without
Yeah.
butchering it too much, but there are a lot of people who work hard to make a plant get to where a person can buy it. And there are a lot of moving pieces to it. The behind the scenes part that trips me out is the shipping cost, right? Just shipping plants is
Very
it's
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah, moving things is expensive.
And I guess that's true for all things. It's expensive to get something in a truck moved from one place to another.
I think the knowledge base, though, I mean, you're working mostly on that knowledge base of the plants and all those sort of things that are, you know, how do you make a plant live and love to be loved on, and I think that's what differentiates us from, you know, someone like a
Mhm.
Walmart or Lowe's or somebody else is, you know, it's how much love you're spending on your plants and how healthy these plants are,
Sure.
and having the knowledge base of knowing how to have a healthy
Sure.
plant, you
And
know.
I am committed to focusing a lot of energy in the right plants for East Texas. I think a lot of plants are beautiful and pretty, but some plants aren't for our region, right? And so I think when I think about how to help gardeners, new gardeners, and veteran gardeners be successful, a lot of it is picking the right plants. Last weekend, I had the chance to meet with a wonderful lady, Cheryl, and she really is in the native plants and growing like really stable stuff. But she told a beautiful story to me about her dad. It may have been her granddad. I hope I got it right. But her dad was really into roses, and at the time she was redoing her rose beds. And because he had so much knowledge, he was able to kind of just say, hey, just let's get it done. She didn't have her beds all planned out yet, but he was able to like very quickly kind of guide her through some of that because of his experience.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that my hope is that me, you, our team, we're able to bring to people some of the like practical things so that you can get it done. But a big part of that is having the right types of plants for our area. And so that's important to me. But getting them here is tough, right?
Yeah.
Getting them
Yeah.
here is tough. In East Texas, we have a lot of tree growers, a lot of shrub growers, but we don't only want trees and shrubs.
Yeah.
I like pretty
The
petunias.
bedding plants are pretty.
I like pretty petunias and marigolds
Yeah.
and all those kinds of things. And it takes a lot to get them moved here. So that's my behind the scenes thing. You got anything else on that?
No, I don't think so.
What's been the most exciting progress moment so far? Ooh, what's been the
Hmm.
most exciting progress so far?
It seems weird to me, but I don't know. I think when we got the door locks on the doors, and I know we have to change them, but we got the doors on our building that we
The doors are
spent a whole lot of
beautiful.
money on, but they're really really pretty. So I'm like, it was money well spent. And when we got those with some door handles on them, it made it just seem more real to me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
like,
guess it makes it a real. It makes it a real place.
yeah,
That's a good one. For me,
small. It's a small thing, but sometimes
but
a
it did
small.
it for you.
Yeah, it did.
It did it for you. That's pretty cool. I love those doors. Those are my doors. I love those
Yeah.
doors. Um, one of the things that's been exciting for me, I think, is so we're working with a lot of people to help us make this so. And
Local
one
people.
local people, and then also like people that are doing garden centers in other small towns, right? So
Sure.
trying to get to know people that have been where we are, and what did they love, what was awful that they would do differently. Like we're trying to take those golden nuggets from people. But the thing that's been exciting to me as far as our progress is um, kind of connecting with some of these vendors, right? And I say that because I think that's the hardest part of this, to be able to get the right plants at the right time so that we can really have a great first growing season.
The vendor thing's a big deal because you know there's a lot that goes in. You just can't buy plants from anybody. You've got to you know, you don't want to be friends with just anybody. So you want to make sure, hey, does this vendor, do they grow their plants ethically? You know, are they
Yeah,
doing the right things to the environment?
yeah.
Are they treating, you know, are they treating our plants? Are they just giving you
and
something that's going to die?
and being a new kid on the block, we've talked about this a lot. Like there's a almost a whole year kind of waiting period to buy plants because things have to be pre-booked. I was talking to someone, and we had this ice, not, well, it was ice, but we had this rough weather around the country.
Yeah.
And like, to hear garden center owners talk about, like, my vendors, they're not going to be able to ship me my stuff for spring, or not all of my stuff, because we lost it, right? And so it makes my heart pour out for all the people in those
The
businesses.
scramble.
But what has been exciting for me is to learn, well, what do you do to pivot? Like, what do you do? Because spring is going to come regardless. And so, how do you pivot? And so, to hear people's excitement about that, it gets me excited for the challenge. The other thing that feels real for me is, like, Todd had me out there on the tractor digging holes for the fence. And the whole time I was like, oh my God, please don't let me bang him upside the head with this.
She's going to do some more today.
But when I was working that tractor, boy, I was in a happy place. It's kind of fun to get to do some of that on your own. I am not an expert tractor driver by far, but it sure is nice to say, yeah, that hole I did it.
Building something is, to me, very rewarding because you get to see the afterwards. But you don't think about all the details that go into building something. You know, you have to think about everything, and you have to make a decision on everything. And you go, "Hup, I screwed up here. I didn't think about that, and I messed it up." And okay, well, I guess I got to do it again. And there's just, I mean, there's just a whole. You have to, if you're into building things, and you have to have a love of that.
Yeah.
And you know, imperfection is beautiful.
Yeah.
So you know where the imperfections are. So you got to find beauty in your own imperfections.
Yeah. It's wild because I keep saying to myself, gosh, sometimes people drive by here and they're like, when are they coming? What are they going to be doing? When are they coming? When are they coming? And so that gets me incredibly excited. But it also forces me to be like, slow down, Melissa. Don't push it. We work with a brilliant consultant, and Todd and I are really thoughtful in trying to do this strategically, so that, honestly, so that, like, we're pouring all of our money into this.
Yeah.
We're banking on it, and so it's got to work. And sometimes I get ahead of myself, and I had been like debating and kind of pushing towards them. We could be ready by fall. We could be ready to do something by fall. And sure, we could, but we would half do it and it wouldn't be right. And so I'm thankful for you and her for kind of helping pull my reins, because I feel the excitement that other people feel. And
The time it's taken just to get where we are here, and we're not in a building that's functional yet. You can't use the restroom in there. I mean, we're still building, but this process started July 20th.
yeah,
We got ordered a building, I think, right around August 1st.
yeah,
So we're 7 months.
yeah,
Is that 7 months? 7 months. We've been moving here, and there was no way we could have opened up, for spring of this year. I don't
But
feel like
my you know,
it would have
so
been a hard push.
oh,
It would have
it
been.
would have been insane. And so what happens is then I get it's springtime is like upon us. The sun feels so good, and so there's this excitement that I have because it's time to grow. Let's go, let's grow, baby. And so you just want to be there. So part of what I've committed myself to doing is just really trying to be active and stay connected with people and answer a million questions that I get over social media about how to grow this and here's my garden plan. What should I do? And so I think I encourage people and ask people, keep sending me those kinds of questions because it does keep me motivated and keep me sharp. Just because it's an exciting time. The other thing I want to share is because I've shared this a little bit, but what did I do? You want me to tell them?
Yeah.
I wrote. What did I write?
Oh,
I wrote an ebook.
it's coming out. Y'all will see
It's
it.
a small little ebook, but it is called "Yes, You Can Grow Tomatoes," and it's a little ebook, a practical guide for new gardeners on how to grow rockin' tomatoes. And so one of my dreams, like as a even in high school, I've always been interested in like writing and reading and that sort of thing. But when I think about gardening, and Todd will tell you, in my personal library, I have rows and rows of textbook size gardening books. And those are incredible, but sometimes that's overwhelming. So I kind of decided, well, I think everybody should grow a tomato. If I were new to vegetable gardening, that's what I would want. But that's also what I think people should grow. So I got a guide coming out at the end of the month on how to grow tomatoes. I'm excited about that. I'm so excited about that. I almost
And it's an
forgot.
ebook, but you can also get it in print.
Yeah, we're gonna have some in print, but it is launching as an ebook digitally. We're gonna be at Petals and Paws, put on by the Thumbs Up Green Thumbs Up Garden Club here in town, and I think we'll have some hard copies by then. Fingers crossed. That's gonna be really awesome.
We'll definitely have some shirts.
We will have some shirts. I should have worn one today because God made dirt and dirt don't hurt.
That's right.
Um, any other? Sorry, I hope I didn't wow them out hitting on my microphone. We'll see how that goes. Any other big things you want to share, Todd?
No, not really. I mean,
I
it's
got
something that you got on your mind.
Yeah, one of the other kind of behind the scenes things that Todd and I spent a lot of time. It's one of those small things, but that we worked really hard on defining our business identity. We worked on like what's our mission, what's our vision, what are our values, and so over the next couple of months, we'll be sharing more about what we came up with there. But our values and our vision is incredible and it feels so East Texas, and we'll start sharing more about it. But as we get ready to start thinking about who we're going to hire and who's going to work for us and who's going to be on our team, it'll be important for them to carry some of those out. I guess I could share what it is.
Yeah.
I got it all memorized. This is the nonprofit worker in me. The mission is, at the Marshall Garden Company, we help people grow as gardeners, one person, one plant, one porch at a time. And our values, we got three values. The first one is dig in, right?
Well, let's stop for there for a second. Let's dig into that for a second
There we go. Dig in,
because
baby.
that one person at a time, one plant at a time. It means that goes to the core of what we're working on now with vendors. It starts not when you buy the plant. It starts when we buy the plant. It starts when our vendor puts the seed in the plant. It starts, that plant has a life of its own, and so, one plant at a time,
One person at a time.
and then that plant is grown for the person who ultimately takes it home.
Yeah.
So that plant is special to that person and
their porch. So
yeah.
one of the things, and this is so cheesy, but so I've worked in nonprofit and I do a lot of like social studying. And when I was in college, I remember reading an article about when houses started being built without porches and what that transition has been throughout our country. And it made me think a lot about, like, I was lucky. I grew up with a front porch and we would sit and play with Sonya and Keith and everybody in the neighborhood right on the porch. And so we take that porch concept really serious because that's a place where people can gather, even if you live in a house that doesn't have a porch. It's this, I don't
Yeah.
know,
I remember sitting on my
anecdotal
grandmother's front
porch.
porch. You know, that
So
was a
that's a part of
gathering
our
spot.
mission. At the Marshall Garden Company, we help people grow as gardeners, one person, one plant, one porch at a time.
Yeah.
You like that, don't you?
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
And then so the first value was dig in. And so that was really all about, you want to describe it?
You know, back to the porch though. Porch doesn't have to be the front porch. It can be
No.
your back porch.
No, it can
Everybody
be your patio.
has a
It
porch
can
of
be,
some sort. You know,
that's right.
it doesn't have to be. You know,
It's a place where
for
you
me,
gather.
I remember, you know, my grandmother's front porch. For you, your grandmother's front porch. But you know, it for us right now. I mean, we have a beautiful front porch, but our back porch is also
The back porch is the spot for us.
yeah. So yeah, you know, the porch can be whatever that is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the concept of it.
yeah, one porch at a time.
There you go.
Okay, what are we gonna do next?
I was going to ask you to talk about dig in. That's our first value.
Dig in. You know, dig in is both metaphorically and real.
That's right. That's right.
So dig in is an attitude. It's you know, a spirit to hey, I'm gonna tackle this and I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah.
And it also is actually, you know, I'm gonna get my hands in here and I'm
Yeah.
gonna get dirty and
Yeah.
I'm gonna, you know, maybe
Yeah.
get a shovel out here or
Yeah.
something. And
To me, it's like get started. Like
Yeah.
if you want to grow as a gardener, you have to start. You have to dig in. And that might not mean you're going to have a 30-acre vegetable garden. It might mean I'm going to get a plant, I'm going to put it in a pot, I'm going to nurture that baby and it's going to grow, but I'm going to dig
it
in.
might be some mint, or it might be a house plant. It
Ooh,
might be, you know,
mint. I got stories about mint.
might
Oh
be
my
some
God.
basil or something, you know.
But yeah, it's dig in, whatever.
I remember
that
my
looks
mom
like.
putting the basil leaf in the pot of, you know, tomato sauce.
There you go. Now that's good eating. So second value is keep going, keep growing. So first we got dig in, and then we got keep going, keep growing, right? And I use that because like I grow a lot of stuff, but I will be honest, I've killed a lot of stuff. And to be a good gardener, you gotta keep going, keep growing. You're going to make mistakes. Plants are going to die. They were like they don't live forever. None of them do.
we don't take losses, we take lessons.
Oh.
So you know, you kill something, you go, well, I did wrong here, and learn from it, and you know, keep growing. That's part of that growth, you know.
Yeah, keep going, keep growing.
You know,
that's probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
And then the last one is worth the work. And that's because I believe that gardening and the act of gardening, the act of like growing a thing, right? I think it's worth it, right? It is worth it. And like it ain't a bad day when your neighbors come and walk by your flower beds and they stop and they snap pictures. Or it ain't a bad day when people see you at the grocery store and they're like, "Oh, you're the neighbor with the great flowers. How do you grow blah blah blah?" It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. But it's also worth it when you get to see what you were able to accomplish because you dug in, because you kept going and kept growing. Those are the three values. I didn't know that we were going to share that today, but
that's good. No, it's good. It is good.
We were required to define those, and it's worth sharing because in the coming months, right, we will be trying to find people to support us as employees and to get behind our vision, and that's got to be a part of who they are. And like, if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they got to be willing to dig in. They got to be willing to keep going, keep growing, and know that it's worth the work. So yeah, that's that.
What else you got?
But that's all I got. It's a
Well,
beautiful Saturday.
it is a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day. The weather is about to change and do all the spring stuff.
Early fall,
Don't
or early spring,
Yeah.
late fall.
Don't jump out there too fast if you're gardening, but if you do, keep your frost cloth handy just in case. But get yourself outside and grow something. And we will be back to do another one of these updates one day soon. See y'all later.
Yep. See you later.